Yeah, I want to talk about something that on survival, like, people talk about survival all the time. They got food, water, shelter, weapons, and silver, and all this other garbage. And, I have some medical supplies, first aid kits, and things like that, but I have not really concentrated much on this, and I realized, boy, this is one area I'm screwed up on big time. Because I'm such a health nut, and I exercise so much, I don't get sick, and I always feel fine. And then I had a problem last week, it was I couldn't pee, and I had to go to the emergency room because of prostate, right? And I thought, well, I need to have one of those in my kit. But what else, too? Antibiotics. And I'm going to order some of that stuff, too, like Cipro might be a good one. And keep them on hand. And even if they're expired, if it's in a dire emergency situation, and there's nothing around that you can do, you want to have antibiotics. The other thing is colloidal silver. You want to have a hell of a lot of that made up or ahead of time because, you can also introduce it into the body different ways. Like on one video I put out, in other words, if you have problems with the lungs, there's a real bad lung infection, you can use a warm air mister that's designed to put some medicine in. They're only about $28 or something, and use that to, help you heal. Because if the colloidal silver gets to the actual infected area, it works like crazy. It's like if you take it orally, it doesn't really work that well. You could take it sublingually and that type of stuff, and say even if you have a urinary tract infection, like I know females can get that a lot easier too, you might want to introduce colloidal silver, maybe even through a catheter into the bladder. I mean, if it's a dire emergency, I'm not saying to do this as a normal thing, you should go to a doctor, but if it's a dire emergency, that might be the thing to do. It's stronger than saline solution. It's amazing that they don't use this in the hospitals too much, when I think I know why, because it would put out a lot of antibiotic companies out of business. Really, that's really why they don't use colloidal silver. But just taking a couple tablespoons orally, that's not, say if you have a problem internally someplace, if you can actually get to it somehow with the colloidal silver, you can actually heal it much, much faster and wipe out the infection versus taking some orally. So I'd recommend that people also get a lot of pharmaceutical supplies and keep that stuff on hand in your survival kit, because that's something I've really ignored. I have some first aid kits, I have colloidal silver, but I don't have anywhere near enough. I'm actually going to get the emergency medical surgeon's kit, because really the body, it's almost like if you're almost like a mechanic's mind, besides, not to be mechanical, but the body works like that. I mean, you have tubes with arteries and veins and stuff like that. If there's a flow that needs to be stopped, it needs to be stopped, And, having the right tools in the sterilization procedures, especially with colloidal silver, may be extremely important. So I just want to put this out here because this is something I didn't think of, and I need to really do it myself too.